I get a lot of messages from people who love science but feel stuck at the point where they have to decide whether a serious microscope is worth the money they'll spend on it. The hesitation is real. Buying a piece of equipment that looks impressive on paper can quickly turn into a regret if it doesn't fit the day-to-day workflow you have in mind. In this video I'm going to walk through exactly what you get with the OMAX M8311 C10 2000X Trinocular phase contrast microscope, point out the places where it shines, flag the hidden trade-offs, and help you decide if it's the right fit for your lab, classroom, or hobby bench. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the kind of work this microscope is built for. Phase contrast is a game changer when you need to watch living cells move without staining them. That means you can watch a pond water sample for protozoa, observe cultured bacteria dividing, or watch a plant root tip mitosis in real time. The M8311 C10 comes with a full phase contrast kit, so you have the specialized objectives and condensers needed to convert transparent specimens into high-contrast images. If you've ever tried to look at a live cell under a standard bright field scope, you know the difference. The phase setup makes the cell boundaries pop without any chemicals that could kill the sample. One of the practical strengths here is the trinocular head. It lets you attach the included digital camera while still looking through the eyepieces. In a teaching lab, that means the instructor can keep the view on the screen for the whole class while still allowing a few students to peer through the microscope themselves. For hobbyists, the camera makes it easy to capture micrographs for a blog or to share on social media, and because the camera is built into the tube, you don't have to wrestle with adapters or external mounts. The image feed is USB compatible, so you can drop it onto a laptop and start streaming or taking snapshots right away. The focusing mechanism is another place where the OMAX shows why it's priced where it is. It has a coarse knob that moves the stage quickly for low magnifications, and a fine knob that lets you make sub-micron adjustments when you're at 1000x or 2000x. In practice, this means that once you've set up a slide, you can lock in a focus and then switch objectives without hunting for the image again. I tested that by moving from a 40x phase objective to the 100x one on the same slide of onion epidermis, the transition was smooth and the image stayed sharp, which is something you'll appreciate during a multi-step experiment where time is limited. Now let's address the value proposition. At its price point, the microscope sits in a sweet spot between entry-level student scopes and high-end research rigs. You're getting a full phase contrast kit, a digital camera, and a 5-year warranty against manufacturing defects all in one box. That warranty alone is a confidence booster. Most competitors either skimp on the camera or require you to buy a separate phase contrast kit, which can add several $100s. By bundling these items, OMAX gives you a ready-to-go system that you can pull off the shelf and start using within an hour. But there are trade-offs that matter once the box is opened. The overall footprint of the M8311 is fairly large, so you'll need a sturdy bench or a dedicated table. It's not a portable unit you can slide into a field backpack. If you're a high school teacher with limited lab space, you'll need to plan the layout carefully. The illumination source is a halogen lamp, which provides the bright, even light needed for phase contrast, but it also means you'll have a bulb that eventually burns out and will need replacement. Some newer microscopes use LED modules that last longer and generate less heat. The halogen choice keeps the cost down but adds a small maintenance item to your checklist. Another practical limitation is the maximum magnification of 2000x. For most cell biology work, that's ample. You can resolve most subcellular structures and clearly see motile organisms. However, if your work leans heavily toward histology where you need 4000x or more to see fine details in stained tissue sections, you'll quickly outgrow this scope. In that case, you'd be looking at a higher power research model, which naturally costs more. Who should walk away with this microscope? If you're a college student majoring in biology, a hobbyist who wants to explore the invisible world around you, or a small teaching lab that needs a reliable phase contrast system without breaking the budget, this is a solid match. The included camera also makes it attractive to content creators who want to film experiments for YouTube or classroom videos. On the other hand, If you're a professional research lab that requires ultra-high magnification, motorized stage control, or advanced illumination techniques like fluorescence, you'll likely need a more specialized platform. Also, if you're limited on bench space or you need a truly portable unit for field microscopy, you should look elsewhere. Let's talk about a